Hi guys, I'm Ryan Houston and welcome to my fly tying channel. This channel contains hundreds of different videos covering all manner of different patterns, techniques and styles of fly tying. There's something here to suit almost everybody, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let's get on with the show. Hi guys, welcome back. So tonight what we're going to do is tie a lure, but it's going to imitate a stickleback. So sticklebacks aren't maybe as common as they used to be, but I remember they were one of the first fish I caught, and trout really love them. So sticklebacks, especially the males, whenever mating comes, will change colour, and the male will get this blue and red portions to his throat, and it can make him quite I suppose attractive to the females, but it also makes them stand out to predators. So I'm using this size 8 Kanzan B830, and for this one I'm using this Textreme Black 6.0. I'm finding it quite a good strong thread. So sticklebacks have they can have a bit of barring on them, so I'm going to use a black wire rib. So I'm going to add that on, and I'm just tying it away on the far side of myself and taking it down just to the bend here. So I want a little bit of weight to this, so I am going to put on a lead wire underbody. So I'm using, this happens to be a large lead wire, but just pick the wire to suit the hook size that you're going to tie this in. I run a little bit of super glue onto my hook there and start about a third the way along, and then wrap this and stop shy of the front because we want to have room to taper the head down. So the super glue will adhere the under wraps of that, so I'm just sort of cross wrapping across it here just to prevent it from unwinding itself. Okay, so the body's going to be 3 sections of like angel type dubbing. So the first section, which is going to be the biggest section, I'm going to dub using a mixture of holographic gold and holographic silver. Now what's worth saying is sticklebacks sort of vary their colour depending on their habitat, so they can be quite brown, but they can also be quite olivey. So if where you are suits a more olive colour, then just change it up a little bit, change the body colour a little bit more to olive, and also the Zonker strip that goes on it you could change to an olive. So first sort of half or so of the body is done in that gold and silver mix, and then the next bit of the body I'm going to use this violet coloured Spectra Flash dubbing from Sci-Fi, which I find makes quite a nice neat type dubbing. Got multiple colours in it in this blue sort of overall theme. So we just dub that on, twist it, a couple of turns to lock a few fibres in, and that'll allow us to twist it up tighter. And then we want to create a blue portion. And then to finish off the front of that, because he can get red up around his cheeks and belly, we're going to do a red, and this one is a hen's Spectra dubbing. So we're going to take that and just allow it to jump off the front of the lead wire there. So unusual traffic light sort of colour. So next what we want to do is put on a Zonker strip. Now I'm actually using natural rabbit colour for this here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it into the front here, but I'm not going to tie it right at the front of the strip unless you want to have a really slimline thing. What I'm going to do is pull it along here until I'm sort of halfway along the length of the fur itself, if that makes sense. That way what we're doing is we're trapping down fibres from this front portion. We're going to trim that off, and it'll just give us a little bit more thickness at the front here. So we just tie that in, pull up the strip, get our scissors down tight and trim that off, and then wrap over the strip. So the Zonker strip is going to form the back, and also we want a little bit coming out the back to create the tail. So how much you take out the back, I suppose, is up to yourself. You're probably talking a shank length at most, but in this one I'm probably going to go about a half shank or so sticking out the back. So I just take a blade underneath it and trim it off. I'm going to take my wire over to the far side, and then I'm going to take it under and just let it hang underneath here. The reason for doing that is that it'll make the first wrap more straight, if it makes sense to you. If you didn't do that and started just wrapping from where it was, like say you took it over the top, it will pull your strip across. So take that, or even do a full turn if it suits, and then that way we're having a good straight start wrap. So we want to separate the fur out until it's divided at this point where that's going to be. So I'm just going to wet the fur and take that forward. So we take a wrap across that, and then what we want to do is come along the shank, split the hair so as hopefully we're not tying too much down, and try and get up it in sort of roughly even turns if we can. And this is another reason for having that hair tied in as we did at the front, in that we can separate this bunch and come in between it right tight up at the front, and then that is the ribbing done. So a couple of different ways of sorting tying the rib in. So you can just take across it like that and then wiggle or helicopter that off, or what I sometimes do is take my thread to the back there and take an extra 2 turns over the head with the wire and then just snap, and it should snap it off completely neat to the head, and then you just need to wrap over that. And finish it off. So, flywheel fish as it is, or if you want to get fancier you can add eyes. You could also have tied the fly with dumbbell eyes. As I said, it's just something to play around with. But what we'll do is we'll add a set of small pearl silver eyes to this fly. So the eyes we're going to use are these little 3D. These are actually a blue pearl, I suppose. And these are, I think these are a 2.5mm eye. So I'm going to take 2 of those. And I'm going to use UV Cure Gel to do the head on this, which is not something I usually use, but I think it does work in these applications. I don't like it as a general head finisher, and I'm not that keen on it for larger heads, as I find it difficult to get it cured at depth. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to stick these eyes on with super glue gel. So we take a little bit of super glue, just put on a little blade there, a little blade there, and then we'll set our eyes on that and push them in to it. So fiddly job. Set it on. Push it in. And the same on the other side. And now the eyes stuck to it. So what I'm going to do is I need to let the super glue dry on that, otherwise it may interfere with any other adhesive that we were going to use. So we have one from earlier. Stick that on. And then we're going to take our UV gel. And just get that in between the eyes. And you can even just put a light coating over the eyes to join the whole thing together. And then we want to take our torch and set the gel. So that's the UV cure set. So what I would do with that then is I have a nail station, which is one of the, it's like a cabinet thing, you know, that lady, whenever women do their nails, that they put them into this thing that has UV bulbs in it, and you can set that and let it run for 90 seconds or as long as you want, basically, and I find that gives them a really good hard cure. If you don't have one of those, set them in a window and the sunlight will do it. Just let it bake, and I just think the more curing it gets, the better. So as I said, if you want, because these flies have a little bit of iron to it, you can take a marker and put stripes onto your Zonker strip if you so wish. But that is our fly tied, so hopefully you liked. If you did, use a like, subscribe, tell your friends, check out all the other videos on the channel, and until next time, tight lines, and thanks for watching.